All right, guys and gals and kids of all ages, I have finally tracked him down. EJ Snyder, the Skullcrusher in the house, baby, yeah!
What's up? Yeah, right here with Wingman 115. We're down here at the SHOT Show 2017. We're ramping it up down here. If you're not down here, you're missing out for sure. Come on down to the Tops booth from 10 to 12. Today, Thursday, and Friday, I'm going to be hanging out here, and guess who? I'm bringing my partner, Jeff Sash, to hang out with me.
Skullcrusher Nation here. Hey, let's talk a little bit about your SXB. I reviewed it. We done a gauntlet review on it. I'm not going to make any comments because it's a kick-ass blade, but let's talk about a little bit design concept. What was your thoughts behind it, and what was the mission profile for that blade? I think folks want to know.
Okay. Well, flat out, very simple. When I was in Africa, in the middle of Tanzania, the knife I brought with me, and yes, I was a little hard on it. It broke because of my fault. I'm tough on stuff. I break everything. One of the clumsiest men on the planet, I break myself. But that's no excuse. When you're on a survival mission, you're in an extreme situation, you're on the battlefield. You can't have that happen when your life is on the line. So as soon as I got back, I started trying out all kinds of blades. I started studying steel. I got online, I talked to over 1,000 people with all backgrounds, military, woodsmen, survivalists, to find out what it is that we want in a blade when you're in a tough day and you only got one thing. So they said this mythical creature, the one blade to rule them all that does so many things, doesn't exist. Wrong! So I designed this that if you go in, you have one tool, you can do so many things. Right. And I want it to be not just to survive in the wild, but the battlefield.
Right.
This has already saved several soldiers' lives on the battlefield. It's out there right now fighting ISIS with the Peshmerga, and it saved a lot of people out in bad days in the wilderness.
Yeah.
So this design, it's a chopper. Okay, it comes with a 550 cord lanyard. You can lace it up, take the weight off, and you can do small work. So it's a big blade, plus it's a little blade. It's got this sawback back here. Everyone's like, well, that's a stupid place to put a sawback. No, it's Tops Knives signature, so you know you're looking at Tops Knives. But if you're cutting down trees and limbs with this, you're an idiot. It's only for notching and doing things for survival. It's back here because you need torque. If you put it up front, when you're trying to torque, the leverage isn't there. You want it back here so you can get some torque on it. The reason the batoning blade's here is because you put it down on the wood and you're batoning here and you can push at the same time. Makes batoning easier. If you're batoning back here and you're putting the wood here, again, it goes back to leverage. All wrong. I'm not saying it's all wrong. It's just, in my opinion, this is the better way to do it. Plus shaving, scraping. It's also got this jinting here, so you can choke up on it. But the weight is miraculously great. For a heavy blade at 1 pound, 10 ounces, you don't feel it. It also stops blades when it comes up here for a knife fight. So if you got a knife coming, you can parry away and counter back. I won't get you. I know how to fight with this thing. The thrust is where you need it. It's a good, small, smooth working little mini sword for a knife fight. You know, you come to a knife fight with me, I bring basically a Spartan short sword. We're going to get you.
True.
We got the Skullcrusher back here. Now, most Skullcrushers on the market are a ½ inch. This is 1 inch. And when you choke up, you get a whole 3 inches of clearance. So when you're smashing through glass, coconuts, melons, it works. It's a fighting blade, remember? So when you want to get more torque, everyone thought this handles because I have such a big mitt. You choke up back here and you're going to chop, you get more torque.
Yeah.
This blade, we got it right. The first one, the SBK9, sucked. Didn't work. This thing, after the first remake, we got it right.
Even for a medium-sized hand like mine, it worked fine. And one thing I noted when I did the review on it, I liked that you had the forward finger choil, so I could get that pendulum cutting. So with that sweep in that belly of the blade worked awesome for processing, tinder, whatever I was going to do.
And now really I wanted it flatter so that you saw me on Dual Survival in the episode when we were in Georgia in the cave. Right. And I came out and we had Caucasian bears hanging around. These things are pretty badass. So I made a spear with it. That's why you have these lashing points, and you cut half the wood out and it sits right in there nice and tight. And with the Rocky Mountain grip, and you put the paracord down, it lynches it down, cinches it tight, and makes it right. And so a lot of people think that's a weak point right there because you got the rivet, the divot there that goes through, and you get your bolt and rivet right there. They think that that thing right there is weak. I challenge you that it's not weak.
So let me ask you some hard questions.
All right.
You know, I'm the YouTuber's YouTuber. So when you're out there, what's one of your biggest challenges, say on the Naked and Afraid XL, 40 days, you know, the 21-day challenge is just hard enough as it is. But let's talk about the psychological aspect. How do you prepare yourself psychologically for 40 days? Basically, it's the Hunger Games
I'm
going to
give you skull-crushing sense right now.
Okay, let's do it.
Everything in life, whether you're in a survival situation, you're fighting a life-threatening illness, you're dealing with bullies, you're trying to make it in the world, your job, whatever, relationships. Everything in life is about mindset. If you have the right mindset, whether it's a survival mindset, you're fixing your mind to where you have a positive attitude,
right,
clear, concise goals that are obtainable, and just have an iron will, and you can get through anything. And I preach that. So when you're out in a bad day, you know, yeah, life's gonna suck. You have to become comfortable being uncomfortable. Embrace the suck and understand that there are people in this world going through worse things than you, but your life depends on it. So to survive the wild, you have to become the wild. Everyone wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. And so that's the only way I know how to roll, is being very aggressive, and people are like, you're wasting energy. No, my survival strategy is dominate. If I can dominate the environment and use the resources that God provided for us and be thankful to him for them, yeah, sure, if I kill a little animal, I'm going to be happy he sacrificed for me, but for me, God's the one. I fear not, for he guides my steps.
Amen, brother.
And that's the God's honest truth. And so everyone says, hey, going out on these challenges, you're going to take years off your life. I say you add years to your life. You never start living until you've been faced with death right in the eye. That's when you know you're living. And for these things, I've evolved as a better man, a more capable survivalist, and I've grown closer to God. And I couldn't get any of these things done without the support of and love of my family. My wife and kids have had my back for 25 years in the Army, and they got it now.
Well, amen to that, brother. Hey, I thank you for your service. I thank you for taking time out and also being part of the Wingman Nation, baby.
Wingman Nation!
Woo!
Join the Skullcrusher Nation. Look me up on Facebook. Go to my website, ejsnyder.com, social media, Twitter and Instagram, at ejsnyder333. And if you got a question, send me a message and I'll answer it.
Thanks, brother.
Had a great time, man.
Rock on.
Keep going what you're doing. You stay on tune with this guy. He's on point.
Woo!